can't believe I'm reviewing this. Greetings, Retro Zoltan here. I wanted to take a look at the Barbie Tote Teach. Look, I know. I've already reviewed the Barbie for Girls LCD pinball game. I've gone far enough. Probably, to be honest, one of my worst performing videos. Still, I can't help but look at the old gaming systems. I really enjoy a good mystery, and when this thing finally arrived in the mail, I had more questions than answers. What was this thing technically called? Who made this thing? It's supposed to be a game, right? A computer? A tablet? My experience with the Barbie for Girls LCD pinball game made me and others believe this was made by MGA, but I had to be sure. My initial investigation went flat, and since I bought it used without a box or instructions, there really wasn't much to find out. I was starting to lose faith, finding only people selling it, but having no clue what it was truly called, or where it came from, other than it was related to Barbie. I was getting nowhere until I joined the Barbie subreddit. Look, I know, but I was desperate. I joined and asked for help, and these people would be the experts, right? I was in deep, real deep. Forced for hours watching people posting doll pictures, as I kept clicking refresh hoping someone would answer my cry for help, and then it happened. It took less than 24 hours and a user, Spectrum 2700, responded with an actual name of the product. He had found it. It was called the Barbie Tote Teach. Now, knowing the name, I was able to find the owner's manual online, and the rest is history. And speaking of history, boy did Mattel do some interesting things. Aggressive, evil things that could only end up being on a Netflix special. In the end, it was made by a company called Oregon Scientific. But why? Didn't Mattel and MGA have a good thing going on? No, not anymore. Here's what I found out. So back in the day, MGA produced some licensed products using the Barbie name, including, of course, the Barbie for Girls pinball. Things were going swimmingly between Mattel and MGA back in those days, until a Mattel employee, Carter Bryant, during his free time, came up with the concept for Bratz dolls and sold the idea directly to MGA. As you can imagine, this didn't go very well with Mattel because when Bratz came to market, it started selling like hotcakes. Mattel ended up suing MGA. The legal battle between Mattel and MGA Entertainment over the Bratz dolls was a long and dramatic one, spanning several years with twists and turns. It was one of the most high-profile intellectual property cases in the toy industry. With bad blood now brewing between Mattel and MGA, Mattel teamed up with Oregon Scientific, a company known for making educational toys and electronics, and together they were developed for the Barbie Tote Teach and many other Mattel licensed products. Not to get too off track, but Oregon Scientific is also responsible for the Hot Wheels laptop. And embarrassingly, I kind of want it. I really have issues. Please help me. So, okay, that was probably way more than you wanted to know about the story between Mattel and MGA, but if you want to know even more, there's a book out there called You Don't Own Me, which I believe CBS is going to make a movie eventually about. There's also a Netflix series that covered this on the Toys That Made Us, and a YouTube series called Haven't You Heard that covers this also. Most importantly, if you're still watching this video, consider yourself my people, because I find this fascinating. I really do. The Barbie Tote Teach comes in this dark red and the white one that I have here. And to be honest, I have to say I like the white one better. It normally would come in a plastic tote bag and some black and white instructions. I would have to say the device is pretty large, larger than I expected to be honest. 8 by 6 inches to be exact. Which makes me think why so many people were calling this a tablet. Its size is pretty close to the Amazon Fire tablets for sure. The design is pretty basic, not too much going on here other than the keyboard, speaker, and an LCD screen, which is what interested me in the first place. I'm guessing with the game, some will use the keyboard, including the arrow keys on the bottom. It's clearly a membrane keyboard. Not my favorite, but it does remind me of the Timex 1000s that I still have around here somewhere. Anyway, there are no other controls to speak of. I take it volume control might be through the settings when it's on and other stuff. There's nothing to speak of on the back other than the battery door to put 2 AA batteries inside. This was made back in 2004, so no rechargeable option for sure. Turning the Tote Teach on surprised me instantly, with Barbie asking me if I wanted to play. Very unexpected, and I can picture a kid really liking this. Hell, I loved my speak and spell back in the day, which ages me, but let's move on.
Sure.
Barbie will welcome you and ask you to enter a game code right away, which is fine and good. It's called Tote Teach, but she's not going to teach me anything. So, according to the instructions, there are 20 games, and I'm very excited to dive into each and every one of them. So let's take a look, shall we? This is probably going to be painful, but let's explore and see if there's any gems in here. Game number 1. Flower Fun. I wasn't sure what to expect with this one, but overall it's sort of a guess the word by you guessing letters. A less aggressive version of the game Hangman, where instead of drawing a dude about to be executed, flowers fall from the top of the screen. I guess hanging a person on an LCD screen would be a bad idea. Game number 2, Butterfly. This is nothing more than descrambling a word that Butterfly screwed up. Damn Butterflies, stop that. Pretty boring game, and sadly I missed a few of these. Game number 3, Game Spell. This is another word game where each word has an extra letter in it that you get rid of using a magic wand. I keep trying to make naughty words, but she won't let me. Game number 4, Sign Up. This is a math game where you have to fill in the missing math operation sign. Not very exciting. And not even one butterfly. Not a fan. Game 5, Math Dash. This is just a quick math game where you solve questions. Oh man, these aren't games. This is awful. Game number 6, Calculator. Oh man, skip. Game number 7, Remember This. This is a simple game of matching pairs of triangles, hearts, squares, and circles. This one is okay, I guess, but a bit boring. Game number 8, Jewel Box. This one is like Simon Says, using shapes and music. Pretty fun compared to Calculator, I'll tell you that. Game number 9, Piece of Cake. If you're a gaming historian, this is the mathematical game of Tower of Hanoi, only you're moving cake layers. Why not? You basically are moving cake pieces around, making sure to always keep the bottom layers bigger than the top. It may seem simple, but as you keep going, the cake layers get bigger. I'm kind of impressed this is on here. Game number 10, Shape Decoder. This is a bit of a weird one where you try to guess the combination of shapes. If you get one right, it shows you on the left that you got one of them right. You have 10 guesses, and I really suck at this game. Game number 11, Word Quiz. This game will show you a picture and ask you to spell it. And for the record, don't type fish when you see a dolphin. That's completely wrong. Game number 12, Surprise Show. I was so pumped to see this was a breakout game, but it's hard to see the ball and your paddle move so slow that I really have nothing good to say about it. It's horrible. I'm sorry, Barbie. Game number 13, River Jump. This is Frogger. Kind of. If you spam the hell out of the up button, you can make it across every time. Caterpillar Craze. This is Snake. Just eat the dots and keep getting bigger. Don't hit walls and don't hit yourself in the process. Hard to believe I used to play the hell out of this game on my Nokia. Game 15. Equation Elation. This simple game is you just do math equations counting shapes. Pretty basic, but funner than looking at numbers, I guess. Game number 16, Be Prepared. In this game, you're picking flowers, and it will tell you how many bees are close if you choose a space between them. If you ever played Minesweeper on a PC, this is pretty much the same thing. Not the bees! Game number 17, Awesome Art. This isn't really a game, it's just a goofy art program that's pretty restricted. Game number 18, Balloon Drop. Are you horrified by hot air balloons like I am? Barbie just wants you to land this balloon. But what's a good way? I found that no matter where you land, it's okay as long as you're not coming in too hot. If you do, Barbie just says, oh. Game 19, Shop Till You Drop. This is a pretty neat puzzle game despite its title. You need to pick up all the clothes on the screen, but never touch nothing each jump. Barbie will throw in an empty hanger to throw you off. Game 20, Melody Mania. If you don't feel like playing games, there are 10 tunes here you can play at your leisure while you watch notes bounce around. And that's it. Playing these games, to be 100% honest, isn't the funnest, but the keyboard works fine for what it is. Certain games you can feel a slowness of response on some key presses, but it's not a big surprise really. Sounds are pretty basic in the game. Barbie will repeat herself if you set the thing down and stop playing it. I can picture a parent getting pretty violent after hearing, pick all the flowers without stepping on a bee repeatedly. If you do something positive, Barbie will give you a thumbs up and say good job and stuff like that. If you fail, she'll shake her head and usually say, uh-oh, or whoops, which is pretty delicate. So in conclusion, am I a grown-ass man playing a kid's toy? Well, yes. So my opinion here doesn't matter much. Devices like this, especially with how far things have become, are dinosaurs. I'm sad to see this era go, but it is what it is. Today, kids would much rather grab a tablet or a cell phone and get a far more exciting experience. It's just the way it is. It's not much of a collector's item either because there's nothing special about it, other than it wasn't a collaboration between Mattel and MGA for once. Just as this video will go into my playlist Honorable Mentions, I thought it would be worth mentioning before thoughts of this device are lost forever. I managed to muddle through the games, and some are actually not bad considering the limitations of the small LCD screen. screen. Makes me feel for the developer stuck with this to come up with some games. I think it's kind of cool to imagine there are adults out there now looking back remembering they had one of these things. Maybe they learned something. And maybe, just maybe, this was a catalyst for future balloonists. Hey, it could happen. And that's all I have to say about the Barbie Tote and Teach. Thanks for watching, thanks for your support, and as always, I'll see you next time. Bye.